Breaking news, HMRC to crack down on state pensioners over £538 rule. What you need to know. Breaking news is emerging that could directly impact millions of pensioners across the United Kingdom. A major shake-up is on the horizon, and while it begins with a significant financial boost for retirees, it could soon turn into a tax headache. Yes, you heard it right. State pensioners may now be caught in the crosshairs of Revenue and Customs, HMRC, all because of a projected £538 increase in their annual state pension payments. This increase is expected to kick in by 2026, but far from being a simple bonus, it could pull older citizens into a tax net they've never faced before. Let's break this down. The Department for Work and Pensions, DWP, is currently forecasting that the state pension will rise by as much as 4.6% next year, thanks to the UK's triple lock policy. That equates to around £538 extra per year for those receiving the full new state pension. For pensioners already living on a tight budget, this news might seem like a welcome financial uplift. But hidden within this rise is a trap, because this new figure will push many pensioners over the current personal tax allowance threshold, which is £12,570 per year. And once their income exceeds that threshold, even by a small margin, they become liable to pay tax on the surplus. That's where HMRC comes in, and that's where things get complicated. So, why is this happening now, and why are people so concerned? At the heart of it lies the triple lock, an annual system designed to protect pensions from inflation and ensure a fair increase year on year. Under this policy, pensions rise by the highest of three factors: the rate of inflation, the increase in average wages, or a guaranteed 2.5%. With wage growth outpacing inflation in recent months, standing at 4.6% compared to 3.8% inflation, it's earnings that will dictate next year's increase. This results in a higher than usual pension bump, but with unintended consequences. Financial experts are already raising the alarm. Stephen Cameron, pensions director at AGEN, has publicly warned that while the tax amounts owed may be small for individual pensioners, the administrative impact could be massive. HMRC would potentially have to contact hundreds of thousands of new taxpayers, most of whom are pensioners, through formal letters, instructions, and possibly even tax codes they may not understand. For many retirees who have never dealt with income tax on their pension before, this could be deeply unsettling. Confusion, concern, and frustration are likely outcomes, particularly for those not accustomed to handling tax matters in their retirement years. But the financial situation doesn't exist in isolation. At the same time as this tax issue is unfolding, the DWP has also announced a significant review of the state pension age itself. The review, to be led by New Zealand pensions expert Dr. Susie Morrissey, is set to examine whether changes to the pension age are necessary to reflect increasing life expectancy, longer working lives, and the growing financial pressure on the UK's welfare system. This signals a broader restructuring of the UK's pension landscape, one that not only affects how much pensioners receive, but when they're even allowed to access their pension in the first place. This brings us to the political angle. The Labour Party, now in government, is pushing forward with changes aimed at strengthening retirement security, but not without controversy. Liz Kendall, the new Secretary of State for Work and Pensions, has acknowledged that the current pension system isn't delivering for everyone. She points out that low-paid workers and the self-employed, in particular, struggle to save adequately for retirement. That's why the Labour government is reviving the long-dormant Pensions Commission, aiming to tackle the systemic issues that prevent people from building sufficient retirement funds. Chancellor of the Exchequer Rachel Reeves has echoed this sentiment, championing the Pension Schemes Bill and the formation of pension megafunds, large, consolidated investment funds designed to increase returns for savers. According to Reeves, these measures could boost the average pension pot by as much as £29,000 over a working lifetime. While these changes are meant to offer long-term solutions, they don't address the more immediate concern, namely, how to deal with the hundreds of thousands of pensioners who may soon be receiving unexpected tax bills on their pension income. The growing anxiety among pensioners is not just about the money itself, but about how they're being notified and supported. A tax letter from HMRC is never a welcome surprise, but for someone on a fixed income who's never had to pay tax before, it can be particularly stressful. Many pensioners may be unaware of the implications of the pension rise until they receive that letter in the post, by which time they may already owe tax and be under pressure to respond quickly. The fact that the expected tax liability may be minimal offers little comfort when it means navigating a complex system that's hard to understand and easy to get wrong. This also opens up broader questions about communication and transparency. Is the government doing enough to warn people ahead of time? Are pensioners being supported with clear, accessible advice? Will HMRC provide simplified tools or helplines to help people understand their new tax obligations? And most importantly, should pensioners really be taxed at all on what is essentially a benefit meant to provide for basic needs in retirement? But as this issue gains traction in the media and among advocacy groups for older people, there's growing pressure on the government to act. Many experts are now calling for the personal tax allowance threshold to be raised in line with state pension increases, arguing that it's unfair to penalize pensioners simply for receiving the amount they're entitled to under the triple lock. Without such adjustments, even modest annual increases could eventually lead to larger tax liabilities, eating into what little financial cushion many retirees rely on. Public response to the situation has been mixed. While some are grateful for the pension rise, others see it as a double-edged sword. Social media platforms and community forums are filling with confused and concerned voices, particularly from those who feel blindsided by the possibility of having to pay tax on what they believed was non-taxable income. Older individuals living alone or those not confident with digital tax systems are especially vulnerable. It's crucial that the government not only anticipates these reactions but provides real solutions, clear guidance, proactive communication, and, ideally, policy revisions that protect low-income retirees from being caught in this tax trap. So, what can pensioners do right now to stay ahead of this issue? First and foremost, it's important to know your numbers. Keep track of your income, including your full state pension, any private or workplace pensions, and other earnings like rental income or investments. If the total comes close to or exceeds the £12,570 threshold, be proactive, reach out to HMRC, consult with a financial advisor, or visit Citizens Advice. Don't wait for a letter to arrive. Taking initiative now could prevent confusion or even penalties down the line. Secondly, consider signing up for online tax accounts, even if you've never needed one before. HMRC offers digital tools that make it easier to track your income and view any outstanding tax obligations. For those less comfortable with tech, support is available through helplines and in-person community centers. Lastly, get involved in the conversation. Contact your local MP, support pensioner advocacy campaigns, and make your voice heard. If enough people express concern, it increases the chance that the government will introduce tax relief or raise the tax threshold in future budgets. After all, retirement is meant to be a time of rest, not tax anxiety. In conclusion, while the upcoming increase in state pensions offers a financial boost to many older people, it also brings with it new complexities, particularly regarding tax liabilities and administrative follow-up from HMRC. The DWP's ongoing review of the state pension age and government initiatives aimed at strengthening pension schemes demonstrate a broader recognition of the challenges facing the UK's pension system. Pensioners, policymakers, and the public will need to stay informed as these changes unfold to ensure that retirement remains secure and dignified for all. And that's your complete update on the looming HMRC letters, the £538 pension rise, and what every pensioner needs to be aware of heading into 2026. If you found this video valuable, please do give it a thumbs up. It helps us reach more people who might not be aware of these changes. Drop your questions or thoughts in the comments below. I read every one. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on vital updates that could affect your income, retirement, or benefits. We're here to make the complex simple and to keep you informed with everything that matters most to your financial future. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.